I had just wired $68,000 for her master's degree tuition. The payment confirmed that morning. When my mom called from the family restaurant asking why, that nice boy your girlfriend is marrying was there having lunch with his parents. Hey friends, please subscribe and turn on notifications, like this video, and leave a comment with your impressions. This will be a great help. Thank you. We never tire of reminding you. It's all thanks to you. Louisville in early November carries this particular kind of gray. The Ohio River reflecting clouds that look like they're deciding whether to rain. The trees mostly bare. Everything settling into the quiet resignation of approaching winter. I'm 39, work as a senior database architect for a healthcare tech company downtown. The kind of technical work where you build complex systems and trust that if you set them up correctly, they'll run smoothly without constant intervention. 15 years in the industry, solid salary, enough financial stability to help people I care about when they need it. Chelsea is 34, works as a medical assistant at a pediatric clinic in the Highlands while finishing her master's in nursing. Ambitious, hardworking, always talking about becoming a nurse practitioner, about the difference she wanted to make in pediatric care. We'd been together for 2 years and 8 months, living together in a rental house in Crescent Hill for the past year. Talked about marriage in vague future terms, the kind of conversations where you both assume it'll happen eventually without pinning down specifics. The tuition payment had been a big decision. Chelsea's master's program at the University of Louisville was $68,000 total. Expensive, but necessary for the nurse practitioner certification she wanted. She'd been accepted for fall semester, started classes in August. She had some financial aid, but was planning to take out massive student loans for the rest. 2 months ago, she'd been stressed about the loan applications, the interest rates, the debt she'd be carrying for years. I'd thought about it carefully. I had savings, good savings from years of living below my means and investing consistently. I could cover her tuition without destroying my financial position. We were building a future together. Helping her finish school debt-free seemed like an investment in that future. I told her in September, "Don't take the loans. I'll cover the tuition." She'd cried, said it was too much, she couldn't accept that. I'd insisted. We were partners. This was what partners did for each other. She'd finally agreed. We'd set it up so I'd pay the university directly, fall semester in September, spring semester in January, summer courses if needed. Total commitment, $68,000. I'd made the fall semester payment in September, $26,000. That Tuesday morning, November 7th, I'd wired the spring semester payment, another $26,000. Got the confirmation email at 10:47 a.m. Forwarded it to Chelsea with a note, "Spring semester paid. You're all set. Proud of you." She'd texted back, "You're amazing. I love you so much. You're changing my life." I was at my desk working through database optimization problems when my phone rang around noon. My mom. She called maybe once a week, usually evening. "Hey mom, what's up?" "Hi sweetie. Quick question. Are you and Chelsea having problems?" I stopped typing. "What?" "No." "What?" "Well, I'm at the restaurant for lunch and there's a young man here with his parents, and I overheard them talking about wedding planning. The mother mentioned something about our son's fiancée getting her master's degree, and I thought I caught the name Chelsea. Then I heard the father say something about the wedding being in March. I thought maybe you two had gotten engaged and hadn't told me yet." Something cold settled in my stomach. What does the guy look like? Late 20s maybe, tall, dark hair, wearing a North Face jacket. His parents are older, maybe 60s. They're sitting at table 12. "Mom, I need you to do something for me. Can you casually walk past their table and see if you can hear anything else? Any names? Holden, what's going on? Just please. I'll explain later." I heard rustling, her moving through the restaurant. My parents owned a small Italian place in St. Matthews. Nothing fancy, but successful. My mom still worked the floor most days. After a minute, "Okay, I'm close enough." The mother just said, "Preston, you and Chelsea need to finalize the venue deposit this week." The son, Preston I guess, said something about Chelsea handling it because she's better at planning. Preston. I knew that name. Preston Montgomery. Chelsea's ex-boyfriend from her mid-20s. They'd dated for 3 years before breaking up when she moved to Louisville for work about 7 years ago. He'd stayed in Lexington where they'd both lived. She'd mentioned him exactly twice in almost 3 years together. Once when we drove through Lexington and she pointed out a restaurant they used to go to. Once when a mutual friend from that era got married. Mom, can you see them well enough to describe the son more specifically? Honey, what is going on? Please, Mom. Okay. He's wearing a blue button-down under the jacket, has a University of Kentucky ring on his right hand, and, oh, he just pulled out his phone and the woman sitting with him leaned over to look at something. She said, "That's a beautiful ring. When did you propose?" My hands were shaking. Did you hear an answer? He said something like, early September, right after she started her master's program. Wanted to celebrate her getting into U of L. Early September, right when I'd agreed to pay her tuition. Right after I'd made the first $26,000 payment. Mom, I need you to take a photo of them. Discreetly. Can you do that? Holden, please. I heard her moving. A minute later, my phone buzzed with a photo. 3 people at a table, older couple and a younger man matching her description. I zoomed in on the man's face. Opened Chelsea's Instagram on my laptop. Scrolled back through her photos. Mostly work stuff, some of us together, friend groups. Then I found it, from about 8 months ago, a group shot at what looked like a wedding. She was in the photo with about 6 other people. I zoomed in on the faces. One of them was the man from my mom's photo. Mom, I have to go. Don't say anything to them. I'll call you back. Holden, talk to me. Later. I love you. I hung up and pulled up every account I had access to. Chelsea's Instagram, private, but I'd always been able to see it. Started scrolling carefully through recent posts. Mostly professional stuff, studying, clinic work. Nothing about Preston. Checked her tagged photos. Found one from 3 weeks ago. A group photo at what looked like a UK football game. Chelsea was there in UK blue. So was Preston, standing next to her, his arm around her shoulders. Posted by someone named Jennifer_Montgomery. I clicked through to that profile. Jennifer's bio. Proud mom. UK alum. Wedding planner for the best son ever. Her recent post showed wedding planning content. Venue tours. Cake tastings. A post from 6 days ago. Can't wait to celebrate Preston and Chelsea next March. My baby is getting married. Ring. I sat there staring at my screen. Went back to Chelsea's Instagram, this time looking at her stories highlights. She had several, work, friends, food, standard categories. Then I noticed one labeled close friends with a different privacy icon. I'd never been added to her close friends list apparently. I couldn't see those stories. I opened our shared cloud storage. We both backed up photos there. Went to her folder. Started scrolling through photos from the past few months. Most were familiar. Us together, her studying, normal stuff. Then I found a folder labeled Wedding Ideas created in September. Opened it. Over 100 photos. Venue options. Dress styles. Flower arrangements. Invitation designs. And photos of her with Preston at what looked like venue tours, cake tastings, trying on suits and dresses. Photos timestamped from September, October, early November. While I'd been paying her tuition, she'd been planning a wedding to someone else. I checked our joint bank account. We had one for shared expenses like rent and utilities. Current balance, for $1,200. I've been contributing more because I made more, but we both put in regular amounts. Scrolled through transactions. Normal stuff mostly. Then I noticed something from October. Withdrawal of $800, ATM in Lexington. Another from 3 weeks ago, $600, same Lexington ATM. She'd been driving to Lexington regularly and withdrawing cash. I pulled up our car insurance, both vehicles on the same policy. Checked the mileage verification we'd submitted last month for renewal. Her car, 34,890 miles in October. I went outside to the driveway where her car was parked. She'd taken an Uber to class this morning because her car was making a noise she wanted me to look at this weekend. Checked the odometer, 37,240 miles. 2,300 miles in 1 month. Louisville to Lexington was 78 miles one way, 156 round trip. That's roughly 15 trips to Lexington in the past month. I went back inside and did what I do professionally. I built a system to verify the data. Opened a spreadsheet. Started documenting everything. September 4th. I agreed to pay tuition September 6th. First payment of $26,000 since September 8th. Estimated Preston proposed, per his mother's comment. September 12th present. 100 plus wedding planning photos in cloud storage October-November. 15 plus trips to Lexington, mileage data. November 7th. Second payment of $26,000 sent this morning. November 7th. Preston and his parents discussing wedding plans with my mother present. Total invested in her education while she was engaged to someone else, $52,000. I looked at the time. 1:15. Chelsea's Tuesday schedule had her in class until 3, then clinic work until 7. She wouldn't be home until 8. I called the University of Louisville bursar's office. Bursar's office, this is Angela. Hi. I need to inquire about a tuition payment I made this morning. The wire transfer for Chelsea Brennan, Masters of Nursing program. Let me look that up. Yes, I see the payment. $26,000, posted at 11:02 a.m. today. What's your refund policy if a student withdraws? Depends on timing. We're currently in the add/drop period for spring semester, which doesn't start until January. If she withdraws now, you'd get a full refund minus a $200 administrative fee. What if she withdraws after the semester starts? Then it's prorated based on how many weeks into the semester. But right now, full refund is available. What do I need to do to request a refund? The person who made the payment needs to submit a written request. We'd need the student to sign a withdrawal form. Both documents together would process the refund within 30 business days. What if the student refuses to sign the withdrawal? Then it gets complicated. Legally, the money was a gift to the student for educational purposes. If she wants to continue her education, we can't force her to withdraw. You need to work it out between yourselves or through legal channels. Understood. Thank you. I hung up and called my attorney, the one who'd handled my house purchase and some contract reviews. Clint, it's Holden Pierce. I need advice on a financial situation. What's going on? I paid $52,000 toward my girlfriend's graduate school tuition. Just found out she's engaged to someone else and has been planning a wedding while I've been paying her bills. Can I get that money back? Long pause. Did you have any written agreement? Loan documents, promissory note, anything in writing? No. It was a gift. Or I thought it was. We were building a future together. That's going to be tough. Legally, an unconditional gift can't be reclaimed. If you can prove fraud, that she misrepresented your relationship status to induce the gift, you might have grounds. But you'd need clear evidence she was already engaged when you made the payments. I have evidence she got engaged one day after I agreed to pay the tuition, 2 days after I made the first payment. That's interesting timing. Did she know you were going to pay before the engagement? She knew I was thinking about it. We'd been discussing it for weeks. I officially agreed September 4th. Her now fiancé proposed September 8th according to his mother. So she potentially got engaged knowing you were about to pay a large sum of money. That could be argued as fraudulent inducement, but it would be expensive to pursue legally and uncertain. How much can you recover from the university? The spring payment, $26,000, can be fully refunded if she withdraws now. The fall payment, another $26,000, is gone. Semester's nearly over. Get that spring payment back immediately. For the fall payment, you could try to negotiate with her directly. Offer not to pursue fraud claims if she repays what she can. But Holden, I'll be honest, you'll probably lose most of this money legally. The question is whether you want to spend more money fighting it. What if I just want to get whatever I can back and cut my losses? Then get the spring refund ASAP. Document everything in case you change your mind later and move on. It's the cleanest exit. I drafted an email to the bursar's office. I am requesting a full refund of the spring semester payment made today, November 7th, for Chelsea Brennan's master's program. Please send me the necessary withdrawal and refund request forms. I will handle obtaining the required student signature. Sent it. Then I started packing. Only essentials for now, clothes for a week, my laptop, important documents, toiletries. Packed it all into a duffel bag and put it in my truck. Pulled up our house lease. Month to month as of September. My name only. Chelsea had moved in after I'd already been living there for 2 years. Landlord required 30 days notice from me. I could be out by December 7th. Started looking at apartments. Found a 1-bedroom downtown, walking distance to my office. Available December 1st. Applied online. Got approval within 2 hours. Security deposit and first month, $2,800. Transferred it. Then I sat down and waited. Chelsea came home at 8:40, looking tired. Hey babe. Long day. How was yours? Interesting. How was class? Good. We had a really complex pharmacology lecture. I'm going to need to review it like 3 times before it clicks. That's good you're committed to learning, since I'm paying $68,000 for it. She smiled. I know. I literally thank the universe for you every day. I don't know what I did to deserve you. Speaking of which, my mom called today. She had lunch at the restaurant. Oh yeah? How's she doing? She's good. She had an interesting experience, though. Overheard some people at another table planning a wedding. The groom's name was Preston. The bride's name was Chelsea, getting married in March. The bride is getting her master's degree at U of L. I watched all color drain from her face. Coincidence, right? I continued. Can't be my Chelsea, because my Chelsea isn't engaged to anyone named Preston. My Chelsea wouldn't be planning a wedding to her ex-boyfriend while I'm paying her tuition. Right. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. I pulled out my phone, opened the photos from her cloud storage, turned the screen toward her. Unless these are photos of a different Chelsea at different venue tours and cake tastings with a different Preston. She sat down heavily on the couch. Holden, I can explain. I doubt it. But go ahead. Preston and we reconnected over the summer. I ran into him at a friend's wedding in July. We started talking again. Old feelings came back. And he proposed in September. How did you know that? His mother told mine. At the restaurant. While discussing wedding plans. Oh God. She put her face in her hands. So let me make sure I understand the timeline. You reconnected with Preston in July. I agreed to pay your tuition September 4th. I sent the first $26,000 September 6th. Preston proposed September 8th. Is that accurate? It wasn't like that. Is that accurate? Yes, but... And you've been planning a wedding to him for 2 months, while I paid another $26,000 this morning for your spring tuition. I was going to tell you. When? Before or after the wedding in March? She was crying now. I didn't know what to do. I love Preston, but you were offering to pay for school, and I couldn't afford it otherwise, and I thought maybe I could figure it out. Figure what out? How to marry Preston while using my money to pay for your degree. I was confused. You weren't confused. You were strategic. You got engaged to Preston 2 days after I agreed to pay $68,000 for your education. You've been taking trips to Lexington every week on my gas money. You've been planning a wedding while telling me you love me. That's not confusion, Chelsea. That's fraud. What are you going to do? I already requested a refund for the spring semester payment. $26,000. You're going to sign the withdrawal form when it arrives. I can't withdraw. I need this degree. Then you can take out loans like you originally planned. Or Preston can pay for it. But I'm not paying another dollar for the education of someone who's marrying another man. I'll lose my spot in the program. You should have thought about that before you got engaged to someone else while spending my money. She tried everything over the next 3 hours. Said she'd call off the engagement with Preston. Said she'd choose me. Said she'd pay me back somehow. Said I was ruining her career and her life. I didn't argue. Just kept stating facts. The refund was requested. She'd sign the withdrawal form, or I'd pursue legal action for fraud. I was moving out December 7th. She'd need to find somewhere else to live since the lease was in my name. Around midnight, she finally left for a friend's house. I spent the night in the quiet house, packing more of my things, organizing my exit. The withdrawal and refund forms arrived via email Thursday morning. I printed them, left them on the kitchen counter with a note. Sign and return to bursar by November 15th, or I file a fraud complaint with the university and pursue legal action. Your choice. Thursday evening when I came home from work, the forms were signed and gone. She'd taken them to campus and submitted them herself. The refund posted to my account 18 days later. $25,800. The fall semester payment, $26,000, was gone, unrecoverable. Total loss, $26,200. The contact attempts came in waves. Friday, Preston called from an unknown number. Holden, this is Preston Montgomery. Chelsea told me what happened. I want you to know I didn't know you were paying her tuition. Didn't know or didn't ask. We didn't talk about it. I assumed she had financial aid. She does. Plus $26,000 of my money that she can't pay back. Congratulations on your engagement. Hope the wedding is nice. Blocked the number. Saturday, Chelsea's best friend Morgan called. Holden, Chelsea is absolutely devastated. Can you please talk to her? She's engaged to someone else, Morgan. What's there to talk about? She made a mistake. She wants to fix it. She can fix it by paying me back $26,000. Otherwise, we're done here. Sunday, email from Chelsea. Subject, I'm so sorry. Long explanation about being confused, about Preston pressuring her to get back together, about not knowing how to tell me, about making terrible decisions, about wanting to make it right. I replied, "You owe me $26,200. Payment plan or lump sum, your choice. Otherwise, my attorney contacts you next week about fraud claims." She never responded. I never pursued it. Clint was right. It would cost more to fight than I'd recover. By early December, I was settled in my downtown apartment. Smaller, but the location was perfect. Started cycling to work, 15 minutes door to door. Joined a boxing gym nearby. Started taking a Lebanese cooking class. Learned to make kibbeh, fatish, proper hummus from scratch. Work stayed steady. Year-end project deadlines kept me busy. The routine helped. Late December, I ran into Chelsea's coworker Brianna at a holiday market downtown. "Holden, how are you?" "Good, Brianna. You?" "I'm okay. I heard about what happened with you and Chelsea. I'm really sorry." "Thanks. I'm doing well, actually." "That's good. I don't know if you heard, but Chelsea ended up taking out loans for spring semester. She's drowning in debt now. And the wedding got postponed. Preston's family was apparently not happy when they found out about the whole tuition situation. They think she used you." I absorbed that. "That's complicated. She really messed up her life over this." Choices have consequences. You seem like you're doing really well, though. I am. Really well. Early January, I was at a bookstore in the Highlands, browsing the technology section, when I saw Chelsea. She was at a table in the coffee shop area with textbooks spread out, studying. She saw me, and I watched her face go through several emotions. Then she stood up and walked over. "Holden." "Hi, Chelsea. How are you?" "I'm good. You?" "I'm managing. School is intense. The loans are brutal, but I'm making it work." "I'm glad you're continuing your education." "The wedding got postponed. Preston's parents wanted us to wait until I graduate. They were upset about everything." "I heard something about that." She nodded, eyes filling with tears. "I destroyed everything, didn't I? Us, my finances, Preston's family's trust. You made choices. These are the consequences." "I know. I know I did this to myself." She wiped at her face. "I wanted to tell you I'm sorry. Really sorry. Not just about the money, but about lying to you for months while you were being so generous. I appreciate that. Is there any way I could pay you back? Even slowly. I've written it off. Consider it an expensive lesson for both of us." What did you learn? That love and financial decisions shouldn't mix until there's a legal commitment. And that timing matters. When someone's life suddenly improves right after I commit resources, I should ask more questions. She flinched. "That's fair. That's more than fair." She started to walk back to her table, then turned. "You look happy. Like genuinely happy." "I am. I'm glad. You deserved so much better than what I did to you." She sat back down with her textbooks. I grabbed the book I'd been looking at, paid, and left. My apartment was warm when I got home. I made dinner, Lebanese kibbeh I'd learned in cooking class, the bulgur perfectly textured, and ate while reading about database optimization strategies. Later, I reviewed my investment accounts, updated my budget projections, planned my financial goals for the year. The $26,000 loss was significant but manageable. I'd recover it within 18 months through normal savings. More importantly, I'd recovered something more valuable, the clarity that comes from knowing exactly who someone is when the stakes are high. I didn't feel triumphant about Chelsea's situation. I felt clear about the decision I'd made. Working in database architecture had taught me that the most important thing isn't preventing every possible failure. It's designing systems that fail safely and recover cleanly. I'd failed to verify Chelsea's commitment before investing heavily, but I'd recovered as much as possible and exited before the damage became catastrophic. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt whole. When you pay for someone's education as an investment in your future together and discover they're engaged to someone else, do you try to recover the money legally, or do you cut your losses and walk away with the lesson learned? I'm genuinely curious about your perspective. Share it in the comments.